Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew Dracy, 30-year comic book industry veteran for DC, Marvel, Cross-Gen, Dark Horse, IDW, Image, little everybody, and much longer lifetime comic book fan. I didn't say that very right because I was trying to hold back a burp. So you're probably thinking this episode's about Wolverine, but it's not. I mean, it is a great cover, and it's a great story too, but I'm here to ask the listeners or viewers about the death of the subplot, and does it matter anymore? Was it better back then? I have a feeling, my opinion of it, I'm not going to tell you how to feel, but I feel that it hurts books because it's like comics when they hire new talent or they have a new creative team. They have a sense of uncertainty. It's like, well, I don't know if we're going to devote, a year to this person because we don't know, if the sales are going to be good. And the whole thing with this, the whole situation is sometimes you've got to grow an audience, not just like jab them and say, hey, we're doing this. Hey, we're doing this. Oh, wow, this is a wrinkle. It's like, oh my gosh. And, and it's very short term. God, much as I liked McFarlane's Spider-Man, his Hulk was the best, I think. Some of the best. Well, let me just start with this real quick. David, I think it was Peter David, who did the Hulk forever, and he always kept it going. He kept it good. There's like 10 years of Hulk that, with a few slips here and there, are rock solid, and that's what made the book sell so long. And David had to deal with different artists, but it was usually he'd have the same one for like a year or so. Boy, I love that. Breakdowns and finishes by Jim Saunders, so it's a little cleaner, but that's okay. Let me get to my main point. Big old gamma explosion. And Eric Larson follows Todd McFarlane as he did in later in Spider-Man. And you're like, get to the subplot already, okay? Okay. This was the end of one of the McFarlane, whoever, Larson era, and we ushered in this unknown. This was completely a shocker. I was buying the Hulk at the time because of Peter David and the artist, and I'm like, what is this? And what I found interesting is the Hulk was gray before. He was gray in his very first appearance. He was gray when Al Milgrom took over, which I suspect was a Byrne idea, even though Byrne says he didn't think it at first. But after that, the Hulk stayed gray for a long time. And he's still gray. And what I love is that they kept it that way for years, and they made him less powerful. Because my hang-up with the Hulk was for so many years, he'd bitch and moan, he'd take a few hits, and at the very end, Hulk will smash. He always wins, so that was a put-off after a while. I love Jeff Purv's art. I know it's a lot of people don't care for it. He had the crime of not being Dale Keown or Eric Larson or McFarlane. It's a simple thing, but his page designs are really magnificent. And he does hand lettering too. Just on the here comes a guy who is like the capo of the casino, and he is dealing with troublemakers. And all right, Benny, I'm going to give you a choice to go to the police. Forget now, and I'll even forget about the damage. Is Benny miserable? Otherwise, I'll be forced to summon Mr. Fixit. You wouldn't want me to summon Mr. Fixit, would you? And he gives up. You have the right to remain silent. Who's Mr. Fixit? You're a rookie, right? Well, rookie, if you're lucky, you'll never find out. So these two mobsters are trying to come to an agreement, and it's not quite an agreement. And there's this woman named Marlowe who is sort of a I don't know if she's a call girl or what. She just works at a casino. Get ready for this. The most eligible bachelor in town has nothing to do tonight, and he wants me to do it with. He wants company. So that's not necessarily saying she's a hooker. I mean, there are some escort services that are legit. And, whoa, someplace. Where's legendary Mr. Fixit? Right here. Oh, my Lord. That's what I like to hear. Respect. Hold it. That was my beeper. Be back in a few minutes. Stay put. Look at that layout there. I love the chandelier. I mean, and that design is great. In old houses, that's called a shotgun house because you could shoot a shotgun through the center, not hurt anybody. I think that was like I don't know if that was a Civil War thing or what, for the idle rich. I could be wrong. That's what I heard. Word on the street. So, this guy wants to take out the boss. He wants to take over the casino. And he... Punk's no style. What the heck is that? Crash, 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 loom. And it's the Hulk, but they don't recognize him because he's gray. He hadn't made a lot of public appearances as the Gray Hulk. He was mostly in the desert. Man, I love that so much. That's so gruesome. He just has a really nice style. I dig it. Now, here's the thing. We got us a subplot here. I know I scared her at first, but I scare everyone at first. Man, what a life. Thanks to that gamma bomb explosion 3 months ago, everybody thinks I'm dead. Of course, if it weren't for Gorsham and his pals, I would be. But it was worth all the chances it took for those little squirts. They made it possible for me to be the Hulk all day and night. If it weren't for them, I'd never have hooked a deal with Baron Getty and landed this great deal. Best food, best suite, best everything, and best of all you have to do is beat people up sometimes. He's like, what's that pain? Banner. And not Banner, not after this time. It's not fair. I'll fight him. I won't let him out. It hurts so much, but I pushed him back, but it's different. I can feel it. Banner's mind, his weak body inside me. I can feel it. I feel it clawing at my nails. My mind like nails on a chalkboard. I thought I shut those drapes. The sun hurts like the devil, like it's trying to burn me away and give Banner my place. Blast you, Banner. This is the best life I've ever had, and I won't let you screw it up, not without a fight. So, what's really cool, this is a first of a new era, which I loved, especially, if you have the same writer, you don't have to switch up. I mean, there are some books, like let's say run by Jason Aaron and some of these others, but there's not as many. It used to be stock in trade in the comics trade, where you have a subplot that goes on for a while. And right here you're learning that Banner is still there, still trying to get out, even though the Hulk's out in the daylight. It's arduous for him to fight Banner. And second of all, he says, what did he say? He said, thanks to Gorsham and those guys. Is that his name? Gorsham? Yeah, Gorsham. So we don't know who they are. So that's an ongoing situation. And like I said, there are certain... I just don't see a lot of... you can correct me below. I don't buy a lot of modern comics. I do buy some. Like I liked... This is a few years back. I liked Charles Soule's on Daredevil. I thought he was really good. But I mean, some of these... some comics are just plain dull. I'm going to do an episode on the Valkyrie, which I've discussed on the community chat. And it's written by Steve Gerber. And the Valkyrie is essentially, she has a subplot that went on several issues of the Defenders before and after this. And she ends up in Cobbler's Roost, Vermont, and that is her father, who is Barbara Norris's father. Barbara Denton Norris's, who was married to Jack Norris, who I will cover later. But he knows Barbara, who her body has been it's been taken over by the Valkyrie, not by her own will, but the Valkyrie remembers nothing about her father or her husband. So this is a subplot that goes on quite a while, and it crosses over here, and it comes back to Defenders number 20, and like that's kind of neat, like doing a subplot crossover sort of thing. But maybe I'm off the hook, not off the hook. Maybe I'm out of my mind. But I don't see a lot of comics steadily doing plot lines because they're doing all these event comics, and they're just people see the event and they'll be like, "Oh, that sounds cool," or "That sounds stupid," or maybe I'll pick this book up now that it's part of an event. Similarly, I'm going to go into this. This is years before, but when Mark Waid and Chris Samney and a bunch of other great artists got together, they had subplots with Foggy Nelson having cancer. You had Daredevil outing himself as Daredevil, and a number of other situations, and it was great, but as a result, there were very little crossovers, or he wasn't invited to all the big events, which made for better reading, frankly. But it's just that you have all these other characters that are popular or favorites of creators, and they get all the attention. And I mean, Wade and Samney, they had a relaunch with an issue 1 just to get some heat because the sales were average, and they wanted better. But even before that, there was other stuff where, after so many years, some fun art, a little bit of everybody there. Whee! I love that. Candelario. Oh, James Fry. I love his stuff. But you find out later on that Foggy finds Matt's identity, and he's pissed off at him at first, but it was a slow thing where Foggy's mom came along, and she is I'm trying to find where she is. That's her there. But she talks down to Foggy. Foggy says nothing about her. Her name's, what is it? Something Sharp. Yeah, Rosalind Sharp, or Razor Sharp. Turns out she's Foggy's mom, and he's always kind of coward to her. And there's nothing to imply it until it's meant. She doesn't want to mention Foggy because she feels like he's an embarrassment, but she sees the potential in Matthew and Murdoch and Nelson and Murdoch. And that's one of the slow builds, and it made for a really great reading experience. Let's get on to something a little saucy. Well, not saucy, it's kind of wrong. I got this trade paperback. It was volume 3 of Green Lantern Corps. I had signed by Joe Stighton lately, like a year or two ago. Super nice guy. And Green Lantern was kind of spinning its wheels for a while, and then with issue 200, they at the end of the anniversary issue, they decided the book should be called the Green Lantern Corps, and they made them a super team of Green Lanterns, which was really cool, and included John Stewart, and I can't remember her name, but she's been in the book before, and they end up as a couple. Salak is just some like pancreas face alien. There is Chip, CH''P, and it's perfect for Joe Staten because he could do both that. And then Arisia, who was like this, I don't know, like this tweener, like this real young kid who loved Hal Jordan. She thought she had a crush on him. She had a schoolgirl crush on him, big time. Also, about 2 years prior to this, the book was really good when Jon Stewart took over for a year or two. That's really good. I have that collection somewhere around here. I usually collect pretty well. So there's all these, you have all these characters, and you have these different, these a little bit of a different subplots. Like Chip is feeling left out because he's a small little critter on this planet of what do they call them? Hairless apes is what Howard the Duck would call them. So Really enjoyable stuff. If you like classic comics, I do like it. I'm a sucker for like the Jim Steranko / Neil Adams / Barry Windsor Smith lettering that becomes panels, or panels that become lettering. So Arissa's not feeling that great. Pooh always overprotective. Well, you know, Risha, I was a genetic scientist on Bolivac. I know how fragile bodies like yours are. I think I will check you all. All right, but it's really unnecessary. I'm healthy as a hula duck because she's gotten taller. I don't understand. It's just puberty, but see, we got. She's pissed off because Jon Stewart got tired of being jerked around by her, and decided that Katma Tui was his lady. Guy Gardner, he's another one. Like, see, there's a subplot involving him, and it goes on and on and on, but it's excellent. Mark Farmer. Here's the weird part, okay? Both Arisia and Hal Jordan are stuck in a pit. Honey, are you? I'm alive. That's all that counts. Arisia, what? You're almost as tall as I am. You're a woman. But, stop it. You're a Green Lantern. Arisia, get a hold of yourself. Slap. Jesus. I thought there was something different about you while we were fighting the hand. And in measure, it just sounds wrong. But in midair, there was nothing to measure you against. Don't you see it? You've had dizzy spells. You know, you're a healthy, growing girl, and your scream when Whiteout put part of your body in another dimension. Your scream just now, subconsciously, you knew your body was changing, and you couldn't stand to think about it. Now, this went on previous issues for a while. So the other Corp trying to find those two. Arisia, what? Honey, I have a theory about this. So do I, Hal. As we both know, I've been... Now's not a good time to stop focusing. As we both know, I've been in love with you ever since the day we met. Well, you got a crush. No, love. And I've got a ring that responds to my willpower. It was my subconscious, of course. I didn't order my ring to make me grow up. If I had, I wouldn't have suffered the way I did. But the desire was there, and I've told you often enough, my will is strong. I did what I wanted without my knowing. That's what I figured, too. And if that's true, it's simple enough to return you to your natural state once we get out of here and get our rings recharged. But I'm not going back. Arisia, I didn't order the change consciously, but it is what I wanted, and now that I understand what happened, I still want it. Come on, Arisia. Please don't patronize me, pal. I know you mean well, but I'm not half your age anymore. My mind matured just as my body, and as a woman or a girl, I am a Green Lantern. I was judged worthy of Guardians of a sector by the same Guardians who chose you. Sure you do, but blah, 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 blah. With this love for me, I really don't reciprocate. Okay, I know better to throw myself at you. We can see what you think of me as a woman. Listen now, blah, 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 blah. You've just gotten over losing. I've just gotten over losing the woman I loved all my adult life. And I wouldn't respond to you if you're the Queen of Sheba. And, well. What about your boyfriends? Were there any? So already we're getting like weird territory. Honey, you saved my life. Don't call me honey, Hal. Unless you mean it. This is so weird. So they look for those two, and they find them hungrily in embrace. And this becomes a subplot through the next year or so, and it's so weird. So I wasn't going to give it its own episode, but I just thought, I don't know, I don't want to dwell on it, but it is weird, and it is a subplot, you know, and they were also fighting other, you know, I guess I'm not advocating for more of these stories, but I'm just trying to impress upon everybody about subplots, which Captain America, in one of its greatest runs with Steve Epting, Art, and then Ed Brubaker. Later on, Butch Geist and Mike Perkins would take over, and they lasted a good 50 issues, and they slowly rolled out these storylines about the Winter Soldier. That's a great looking Red Skull. Really amazing stuff. It's a little too dark for my taste. Frank Diamante colors it, and he was doing it in CrossGen too, and I always wish he'd like pull back a little bit, because I'd seen the black and whites that Steve did, and he put all the information in there. So they find out about this Winter Soldier, and they have no idea what it is, and also Sharon Carter's back from the dead, and they've explained that in previous issues before this relaunch. And so you see a lot of these Bucky flashbacks, but you don't realize why, other than they're just flashbacks. And there's a Winter Soldier, totally friggin' badass looking character. Really, really cool. They brought Bucky back from the 40s. They somehow pulled it off, and if you see the movie, it's very, very faithful to Michael Lark. He's a great artist too. I like these pages because I can see them better. And there's the origin of Winter Soldier after the fact. Really, really amazing stuff. So now that's exceptional. And then this led into issue 25, where Captain America gets assassinated, and then Bucky takes over as Captain America in a different costume that was co-designed by Steve Epting and Alex Ross. And it went on for quite a while, and then Cap came back, and he went back to being Winter Soldier, and he stayed in the present. And for some reason, he hasn't gotten a lot of love. I mean, he appeared in the Invaders series, which was really fantastic. The one with, I can't remember, I'm sorry. I think it was, Butch Geist and some other guy did the art. So, but let me give you a really, really, really good payoff. I'm not going to spoil the ending, okay? Hold on a second. Now, this came out in 82 or 83. This is a reprint of it, New Teen Titans. This is on regular paper. It's regular high-quality pulp paper. And they have like 8 or 9 of these now. And they run for like $19, which I think might be a little too much, but I don't care. So we run into Tara. And I love that name, because there's names like Tara, and maybe it's pronounced Tara, but terra firma is the ground. A little Galactus or Black Bolt, fork. So, and she's young. She's roughly the same age as Changeling, who is, I think, 16. They get in tussle a second time, and she gets captured, and Raven, who's empathic, says, I want to help her. No, I don't know about you. And she just leaves until Cyborg shows up. Okay, jerk, you asked for it. So she's showing that she has a temper. And, listen, you got to realize it's been a while since I could trust somebody. You're looking at me like I just stepped out of a padded cell. Okay, I'll explain. My parents, they're in charge of another country. At least my dad is. It's sort of a national embarrassment. My real mom died in childbirth, and I was raised here in America, so Dad's wife wouldn't have a coronary. And she goes on about just the hard life she's had. And some people are skeptical, and some, really care about her. I feel so alone. Don't be. These covers just kicking out. I mean, this is really when Marv Wolfman and George Perez were kicking up steam. I love that. How Roy's just kind of chomping on a sandwich. Mind your questions, bozo. Mind your own business. Let's drink some coffee. heads out. Man, that's just nuts. I make pages like that, but I'm not a fan usually. So, Terra of the new Teen Titans. Yeah, Gar made me a member. And as long as there are no dues, I thought I'd try it out. What do you guys think? We might just need your earth-shifting powers. You can come with us. And Raven has a whole subplot over a bunch of issues, but however, the books are not all subplots. They all have a substantial story that stands on their own, but you have this around, which keeps the characters interesting, frankly. They're not standing around waiting for the next battle. I love this design on this character. Terra goes after him. She's bored. I love that. That's a great page. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terra. I never had a birthday party before. I don't know what to say. So she takes it out. And then Deathstroke the Terminator is in town and he's causing trouble. Terra wants to go after him alone. She pushes everybody out of the way and they have a one-on-one until the other Titans show up. And then later on, she shows up. Yeah, just thought I'd get here first. How'd it go? Perfect. They swallowed everything. They didn't know. It's all been a setup. They suspected terrorists work for you. They didn't suspect I've been planted in their stupid group. And that was a shock because Wolfman and Perez made you love this character. She was broken and then seemingly fixed. But we see that it was just an all grand, awful scheme. Meanwhile, Robin is talking to Adrian Chase, who they are breaking a lot of criminal groups up, sort of undercover. As undercover as you get that way, or they just sneak into and take these people out. But he's saying that the law is useless, only justice counts. My God, I thought the Batman was obsessed. Don't call me again, Chase. And later on, an explosion in Chase's apartment. Love that page. Great cover, great costume. And we find out that Adrian Chase is the new vigilante, and he's tired of going by the books. It's the old taking out the bad guys that the cops can't touch, that sort of thing. And that was a secondary subplot with Robin. And each issue still had something going on. However, I am not going to tell you what goes on any further because it's just magnificent. And you're saying, oh, this book's 40 years old. And yeah, but I have Winter Soldier. I'm talking about Daredevil. I'm talking about some of the other books that are more modern. But subplots seem to... I think it's just now... It all depends. It all depends on who's writing it. But it just seems to be... this is an old man me talking. Middle-aged me talking. I just think they need to invest in characters, not think in terms so much of story arcs as, like these guys lasted a long time, and as did Ed Brubaker on Captain America with Epting, and then later on Geis and such. So my question to you, all of you, is who I don't read that many new comics, and I apologize. It's the price that's making it crazy, and I like physical. Media because I can't look at a computer screen all day and night. Well, let me know what you think about subplots. Are they still valued? Are they using them, or are they just doing stories by stories without any real payoff down the road? I don't know. So I want you to educate me. I'm not going to claim to know everything. I'm just pointing out that it's been a while since, to my knowledge, probably going back to Captain America, that I had mentioned that's when subplots ruled. And also, I was going to bring up X-Men, but for the longest time, I'm talking for years, Chris Claremont was just writing subplots. It actually quit around issue 200 when Magneto was going to trial, because nothing was solved, man. It's like Nightcrawler noticed that Raven, what's her name, looked like him, and there was hints about who were the parents. It went on and on and on, and nothing happened. And I just got tired of it. I was like, please, a little payoff. Please, Chris, please, please. Okay, I sound like an idiot, and I've broken the half-hour mark. So please leave as many comments below. You can disagree with me all you want. I have no problem with that, because I'm here to learn. I just brought this subject up, my opinions of it, and they're not fully formed, but it's just something I've been curious about. I never delete a comment. I never argue. I never, like I said, in the past, the recent history, I've been learning from some of your posts how to follow up on a certain story or something that might have happened later that I was unaware of. So, hey, we're just, even though this is the community part of the page, it's, I consider community anyway. So, anyway, have yourselves a great day, and stay in good health. And that's it. Take care, everyone. Bye.